Hey, remember last time when I said Bloodrayne was an underrated gem and that you should play it? Well, you know what? You ain't seen nothing yet. Bloodrayne 2 for Xbox? Holy crap! It's even better! It's amazing! Play it right now. Well, actually, finish watching this review first, and I'll tell you why you should play it right now. So I was pretty surprised by the first Bloodrayne game. Like I said before, I bought it cause I kinda liked the look of the heroine, right? And what I got was a pretty good game. And now with the sequel, what I got was a freaking amazing game. How come no one told me about this? How come it took until now, 2013, for me to play this? When you first play Bloodrayne 2, you kind of get the feeling that it's too different. Especially if you like the first one and just played it for the first time like me. I was really digging that kind of gameplay, and when I found out that Bloodrayne 2 was extremely different, I was like, well, that's not so good. I was hoping for more of the same. But as I played through the game and got better at it, I was like, hey, this is pretty freaking sweet. And then by the end of the game, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. The first thing you'll notice is that the graphics are stunning and jaw-dropping. This almost looks like a 360 game. Look at the reflections on the floor and the movement of the characters. It's so organic and realistic. And the atmosphere is damn cool. It's like a gothic horror movie brought to life. The first game was a basic third-person action game, but this one plays more like a fighter, at least I think so. It still has its heart set in action, and it's not too deep or complex, but there's definitely more of a focus on combat. And at first that's jarring, but as you learn the button combinations and different ways to kill people, you realize, okay, this is awesome. And like the first game, there are so many ways to dismember your enemies. The basic grunts are pushovers. There's nothing they can do to stop you. And if they are hurting you, somehow, you can just suck their blood and get your health back. Most of Rayne's moves from the first game are back. She can use her blades, except in more complex ways than before. And she also has the chain, except that's been improved greatly. Now you can use the chain to throw guys into environmental hazards. How cool is that? There are also moments where, say you find a dump truck in your way, and you throw bodies into the dump truck until it gets filled up with blood and gore, jams up and explodes. Even though I don't know if that makes sense, it's damn cool. And yes, the game relies on this mechanic a bit too often, but when something involves killing lots of people by throwing them into a helicopter blade, or into some kind of vent where their bodies are compressed and clogging the drain, well, you just can't complain about something like that. The effects of Rayne's blades are also more gruesome than ever before. When you slash somebody, their arm will fly off and blood will spray out as they run for their life. Or you can dismember their legs, or when they're on the ground you can stab them and finish them off and tear off their body parts. And if Rayne's sucking on somebody, but doesn't really need all the blood, she can perform a nasty fatality move. And there's like 12 or 16 or some crazy number of these. And they're all deliciously gory. The only element that might have been nerfed a bit are the guns. In the first game, Rayne could pick up so many kinds of like Nazi weapons. It was cool, you could dual wield them and mix and match, but now you just got these two guns called the Dragons. And it's a cool idea. They basically run off human blood, so when you run out of ammo, it starts draining your health, unless you go and suck blood and fill it into the gun. The only problem is they don't come into play all that often, and they don't appear to be that powerful. Later on you get different options. They can shoot explosive blood or rapid fire blood, and it gets a little bit more interesting, but the focus is definitely primarily on the physical combat. And that's done well. There is a bit of a learning curve, like you're not going to just jump into this game and start hacking people up like nobody's business. You gotta get good at it. But once you do, and once you figure out how to roll around and dodge and get the best of your opponents, you'll be rocking this game. It gets to the point where the average grunts are just there to help you. They're either health, or they can help fill up your rage meter, which allows you to perform deadly, devastating attacks. There's nothing quite like keeping your rage meter on max, and when a boss rolls around, just kicking into overdrive and whipping them. Another thing the first game was lacking, but they made up for in the second, Unlockable costumes. Oh yeah. And if you're one of those feminists who can't stand guys oogling over video game girls, you better turn this off right now. Because you know what? I'm gonna get a little down and dirty. Because trust me, it's cool. First of all, Cowgirl Rain. Oh yeah. Yeah, ride 'em, cowgirl. And then, if that's not enough, Schoolgirl Rain. Actually, no, that's not really my thing. It's kind of weird. The level design is also more interesting than the first game. That one had castles and a swamp, but this one you're going through the cities and different facilities, and it has a really cool look to it. And later on, when the evil vampires activate the Shroud, which blocks out the sunlight and allows vampires to walk around in the day, well, the game takes on a whole new atmosphere. It's apocalyptic and cool. The game's difficulty curve is a little bit uneven. Sometimes it's a bit too hard, and usually it's a bit too easy. But that's okay, because overall it's very playable and very fun. There are a few glitches, and sometimes you'll get stuck in stupid places, but these are all minor inconveniences. So, surprise, surprise, I'm definitely 100% recommending this game. The only people who won't like it are those who shy away from violence and mayhem. But for the rest of us normal human beings, carnage-loving Homo sapiens, this game is right up our alley. But hey, the fun doesn't stop there. If you enjoyed Bloodrayne 1 and 2, you should try Bloodrayne Betrayal for the Xbox Live Arcade. It's great too. It's different, definitely more Castlevania than Bloodrayne, but it's still extremely solid. I don't know if that means there's a different direction for the series from now on, if it's going to go more 2D arcade downloadable route, but I would love to see another game like Bloodrayne 2 in HD, Xbox 360, or perhaps Xbox One glory. Come on, bring it on. I'm ready for it. Has there ever been a vampire with mandibles? Instead of fangs, they got like mandibles, like a bug? Though I guess it would probably have to be like a mosquito sucker, or like one of those swirly butterfly tongue things. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It would definitely take vampires into more of a scary direction than a sexy direction. I'd love to see the Twilight fans try and get behind this one.